Michigan State wins the first game out west 80-63 against Washington. Much better result in the first two games than it was last year. Obviously, play Oregon on Tuesday, but 17-point win on the road. How do you feel about that, Liam?
I mean, you got to feel pretty good about it. It was another Washington made a little push around what, like the 12-minute mark, but you were
Yeah.
basically in control the whole time. And in a game where you're only a 3.5 point favorite, I mean, it felt a little disrespectful, to be honest, but
Agreed.
those are sometimes for a reason, and they sometimes end up burning you on them. So again, it was good to be in control the whole time, and 16-2.
Exactly. And also shout out to the Seahawks as well for taking a lot of the Washington crowd away from the arena because it was like 70-30 Michigan State fans. Like you heard go green, go white chants throughout the game, which was awesome. And then obviously Michigan State, you saw after the game, Izzo and the team like went out to go show support, which I thought was really awesome. But 17-point win on the road, especially out west, you can't really complain too much about that. Even when, in my opinion, I don't think MSU really played that extremely well. Outside of Jeremy Fears and Kur Teng hit shots in this game, Carson Cooper played all right, but like quote unquote, maybe your best or second best player in Jaxon Kohler I think played his worst game by far this season. You still won by 17 and you didn't really need him.
Yeah, no, Jackson not looked good yesterday. I mean, from his first
No.
3 point attempt that hit only backboard, which was kind of wild, and he significantly diminished that 3 point percentage, which is unfortunate. But yeah, like you said, I mean, it didn't phase Michigan State. I mean, you got Fears to step up. Coop scored more than he has a bit recently. Tang with another solid game. I mean, he's just been stringing good games together at this point, and
Yeah.
it didn't matter. I mean, it didn't matter. Like we've said, they were in control the whole time, and you shot it decently from three. I mean, you only made six, but you only took 19 for a 32% clip, and five turnovers. I mean, that might be the key right there. You
Yeah.
weren't giving possessions away to a team that's worse than you. I mean, obviously. So yeah, sometimes like we see with Michigan State teams, you'll have these weird low scoring losses to a team where you're not as where you're that you're worse than, and when you only turn it over 5 times and you do enough right things offensively and defensively, it ends up in a 17-point win.
Exactly. And I think this is like one of the first times in a while that MSU has had less than double digit turnovers. Like it felt like MSU was really good at kind of protecting the ball pretty early on. And then when they kind of got into Big Ten play a little bit, they were less successful. They started turning the ball over more like 10, 12, 15 times, which is kind of the MSU teams we've truly kind of been seeing recently. But it seemed like MSU was able to protect it a little bit more, which obviously only turned it over 5 times in this game obviously truly helped because you didn't give up any turnovers for touchdowns, right? Like that is something that drives Izzo crazy, and MSU really didn't do it in this game at all, which is a good thing.
Yeah, no, you need to see that going forward too, and
Yeah,
you're coming up with again just limiting opportunities for inferior teams to score because after yesterday, they're officially the number one defense according to Ken Palm in the
yep,
country. So you know that you're in the half court, they're going to guard the shit out of it, and it's going to be hard for again a team like Washington who's just naturally inferior. And then with Desmond Claude out or stepping away from the team, weird
yeah,
situation there. They shorthand themselves even more. So like you said, the turnovers for touchdowns as always uses like you don't give up those, Washington's not going to have much of a chance, and they
no.
didn't last night.
Yeah, I was really going to say, really the only players for Washington that I thought played really well. Steinbach is going to obviously get his, got 17.6 from 14 from field. Diallo, I thought was pretty good in this game. You also have to obviously give credit to their big men. It seemed like he has had issues scoring around the basket when it hasn't been Ducks. I don't know why he was so efficient in this game overall. I thought Carson Cooper did a really good job defensively. Also, you saw a little bit of Carson Cooper doing a little bit of those mid-range jump shots and even hit a pretty deep one, a deep two as well. I really like seeing that from Carson Cooper. Now, do I want to see him taking those extremely often for MSU? Probably not, but like if he can hit those consistently and he's a guy that continues to be someone that you can throw the ball up to in laps, like he's been really good this year and he had a good game, 10.6 rebounds. Also, I know we talked about Jaxon Kohler having a little bit of a bad game. He still had 7.7 rebounds. Like, if
Yeah.
that's a bad game for Jaxon Kohler, wasn't obviously efficient from the field at all, but if that's a bad game from Jaxon Kohler, I will take that any day of the week.
Yeah, no, definitely. College basketball doesn't run like the NBA. Like it's not like as consistent with point and rebound outputs. So
Yeah,
the fact that yeah, we are looking at a Kohler bad game and he still got 7 and 7, like for most players, for the vast majority of players around the country, that's a pretty damn good game.
yeah,
So that just shows you how high he set the bar for himself this season. And yeah, I mean Cooper, yeah, you might not want to see those deep mid-range shots under 8 minutes against Michigan or Purdue, but you know what? I mean, what the hell with the schedule coming up? You got three more bottom dwellers of the Big Ten. That's just the truth.
yeah,
With Oregon, Maryland, and Rutgers,
yeah.
three more tune-ups before coming home to the Breslin and taking on those guys from Ann Arbor. So I mean, why not let it fly a couple more times against these three? And if they're making them, I mean, you never know. Maybe it can be an asset, but if he can hit that, the spacing that you'll be able to have for Michigan State is just incredible. I mean, because
Yeah,
you already have to guard Kohler from three, obviously,
yeah,
and if Cooper's effective beyond the free throw line, beyond the low block, and then you got Tang out there, and obviously, I mean, Fears doesn't shoot it the best, but he shoots them, so you got to respect it.
yeah.
It would open up a little bit more for the offense, which is kind of steadily getting better here, I'd say. I mean, Kur Teng is
Slowly.
becoming a pretty solid player, and I think we said this maybe last episode, yeah, last episode. Like, you feel like it's him becoming a starter is creeping closer and closer every game, and maybe it never
Yeah.
happens, but he's just played steady ball lately, and it's good to see.
I was just gonna say he played more minutes than Divine did in this game. Divine played 16, Kur Teng played 20. We've seen Izzo in the past, like even when we had like Zapala would start games, but he wouldn't be playing the majority of
Even
the
Mahdi,
minutes.
Mahdi and Zapala, they'd start and play like 9 minutes.
Yeah, so like he might not necessarily change the starting lineup, but I think Kur Teng, if he continues to hit these shots, will be playing more minutes at the two, which I don't have an issue with. And then Cam Ward, Jordan Scott in this game, I thought they both were big contributors as well. I think they've both been great as freshmen, and I do want to give one person praise for this game. He's been getting a lot of hate from Michigan State fans, or a lot of Michigan State fans haven't loved seeing him play. I think Denham Wojcik in this game was actually pretty solid. Like in his
Yeah.
11 minutes, he had one bad turnover, but besides that, like he did what he needs to do. And I truly want to give him a little bit of flowers for that because Izzo talked about him in the press conference and he said multiple different times, like, we have our kind of guys, right? And he basically said Denham's our kind of guy. He's not here because of his dad. He's here to kind of do what he did in this game. And now, obviously, this isn't a good Washington team, right? Like, do I want to see Denham Wojcik playing 11 minutes against Michigan? No, I don't. I think that would be a bad recipe. But if this is the type of play you get from Denham Wojcik, I'm fine seeing him 5 minutes a game. I'm fine giving him little bursts of like a minute here or there right before a timeout. If he just does this, I don't think it's that bad because if you look at when he came in, it was a 13-13 game. And when he exited 21-13, now obviously it was shots by Kur Teng, it wasn't solely him, But in this game, I thought Denham Wojcik was pretty solid. Pretty solid. I think he deserves praise for that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Definitely one of his better showings, if not his best. And I mean, you look at the box score, and someone will be like, "What you're talking about?" I mean, he still went 1 for 4 and with a
Yeah,
turnover, but yeah, no, he was more under control. He seemed more comfortable, kind of just as a whole. I mean, after he made that pretty tough layup, the little reverse
I was
layup.
just gonna say, did you know he had that? When I saw that, and I'm like, I didn't know he had that in him. To be completely honest with him, I
No, I
saw
guess
that, I'm like, what?
I didn't really, but I feel like a lot of guards at the level you just play for so long, you kind of get a little comfortable around the rim.
Yeah,
But
yeah, true.
I what I thought was funny was seeing him take the step in three like a couple possessions later. Like he
Yeah,
would have never even thought about shooting that in any other game. And again, he missed. But hey, I mean, if he and he probably won't shoot that many more of those. I just thought that was kind of funny to see him take one of those because he has passed up incredibly wide open threes, and then he's
yeah,
like, "Oh, we got the offensive board. I caught this. I'm one dribble, shoot that thing." It was kind of cool, but yeah, no, he just seemed more comfortable, and again, like you said that Tom said, you just he's so good at creating a culture, and it's not really about individual talent. It's
yeah,
Wojcik's gonna go out there and play hard, and it's not the prettiest thing you've ever seen. But guess what? Izzo, when Ugo Chukwu and Fears are both on the bench, he wants someone in there that's gonna play hard and that's
yeah,
gonna not let up the gas on the opposing ball handler, and he's gonna guard him as hard as he can. And again, he's not gonna score 10 points ever. Not it's
no,
not never even a possibility. But he's going to play minutes, relieve fears for a little bit, and again, like you said, in closer games he won't even play 11. He'll play
yeah,
4. And if that gets Jeremy 2% better for the remainder of the game, that could end up being the difference. So, Denham played well, and yeah, you mentioned the two freshmen. I mean, we've talked enough about not enough. I guess we could talk about them all the time, but Jordan Scott just keeps being incredibly useful in his minutes. And talk about another funny shot. I mean, Cam Ward off the dribble, little jump contested midi, and he nailed it. I was like,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, is he going to get screamed at by Izzo?
yeah,
I'm like, I saw that, and he made it, and I'm like, okay, I'm like,
yeah.
what? I'm like, is this like you need because it wasn't like that late in a shot clock either, though.
Oh no, it was like pretty early in the shot clock. It was one of those no, 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 yeah, okay.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, that shot looks smoother than I've seen his free throws.
I know, I know. No,
Weirdly, but it looks good off his hand.
no, I completely agree. That was another one of those where it was just like, oh, okay, let's do it. So, yeah, I mean, what else you got for us?
I was just gonna say, really, we've kind of addressed a lot
Yeah,
of it. It's just been obviously protecting the ball. I do think we need to talk a little bit more about Jeremy Fears because I think we've kind of
yeah, we
talked
kind of
about
brushed over
like
him.
we basically said he's had a good game, but like Jeremy Fears, like the last like 5 games, man, like he has been everything that MSU fans have ever wanted him to be, and I just love that he is now being more aggressive in hunting his shot, but it's not just like a shot. Like he has like a little bit like a hook shot. He has a little bit of like he does still obviously like get
Fly
to the
off the
line
glass.
quite a few, but like Jeremy Fears has been great and I truly think he continues to be like the straw that stirs the drink and he's been really really good lately and this
Yeah,
is
no,
the Jeremy
he's
Fears MSU needs.
exactly like that's really all you can say. I mean, he's just been exactly what MSU needs and where you and what you would think of a Michigan State point guard and
Yeah.
someone who's going to be an advantage Michigan State no matter who you're playing against. He is, and maybe if he is up against someone who's say a little more skilled than him, I mean the mentality he brings, he's not going to back down from anybody, and I think that
No.
alone gives him a little bit of an edge.
Yeah.
And he's someone who, as we get late in the year, towards March, towards the conference tournament, I mean, there aren't many. I think there's 365 teams in D1. I think 365 head coaches would want a player like Jeremy Fears as you come down in
Agreed.
tournaments, as you approach tournament season.
Yeah, 100%. Especially if he's playing like this, especially if
Yeah,
he's hitting his shots. Like, if this is the Jeremy Fears you're going to get, like, imagine what he's going to be like junior, senior year. We might not
yeah.
even get a Jeremy Fears senior year if he continues to play like this.
I hope we do because I hope he.
I,
Knowing
I
him,
do
I think
too.
I think he's going to want to come back and win the Wooden. Like,
Absolutely. I do, before you wrap up, I want to quickly talk about one player. And that's Trey Ford. 5 minutes, minute three in this game. Izzo said last press conference that there's going to be a time, and I'm pretty sure we talked about it as well. There's going to be a
yep,
time where Trey Ford's going to have to
yep,
step up, and you and
yep.
I agree there's a time that's going to have to happen. Do you still believe that? Because, like,
I'm not going to lie. It doesn't seem like they want to give him any more opportunities. But hey,
agreed.
again, kind of like we were talking about though. You never know what can happen over the course of. There's still what? How many more games in the regular season? Like 13. I'm gonna count really
I think
close.
there's 14 games left in the regular season right now.
13 or 14. Yeah, whichever number. Like, I mean, could get like a small cramp or a tweak, just something. I think just what Izzo means by that is just there's going to be a time where his number's called and we do need him to step up and maybe score 10 or 8. And I do still believe that it could happen. Now,
Agreed.
it does not seem like the staff is hunting to get him minutes because I think two
No.
of his 5 minutes were at the 2 minute mark of the second half when the game was quite literally over, and you could have thought about bringing in the Sanders and the Walton twins. So,
Yeah.
do I think he'll get a natural opportunity? No, but the way
No,
basketball
probably not.
goes, the way a sport where there's contact and hard playing goes, he might just due to fouls or injury or whatever it may be, and I hope he could step up because
I do
he's
too.
shown. I mean, last year coming from Samford, he's shown he could score the ball. So why not?
Yeah. Yeah, and his first little action in the first half, I believe he took like a bad shot, and then defensively he wasn't great. I saw that. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, that's
I'm
the
not.
one little point Izzo's going to give him, and then pulled him pretty quickly after that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When he first checks in, he kind of. I feel like every time he comes in off the bench, he does a little something. You,
Weird.
you're just like, yeah. So I don't know.
I think he's forcing stuff, and I think he
Yeah,
knows that he has
and
such
he's
a quick leash on
yep.
him that like he's not playing out there. He's trying to not make mistakes, and when you do that in college, you're going to make mistakes.
I'd agree. And yeah, I mean he's shot it well in his career, so he wants to catch and shoot it, and he's shooting it only 29% this year. It's by far the worst mark of his career. So he's pressing. You feel for him a little bit,
Yeah.
but and I mean he's been a good teammate about it. That's what
Oh
you
yeah.
gotta just. You saw him in the video, one of the guys over there clapping with the Seattle Spartans. So
Yeah.
I hope he does get his moment, as Izzo
I,
saying.
I do too. I do too. But good win on the road, 17-point win. Now travel to Oregon, and then after Oregon, traveling back home, playing Maryland on Saturday. Any last thoughts on this game? I think we covered pretty much everything.
I think we did too. It's pretty late here, and my computer's about to die, so I don't think I can. We should talk much more, honestly.
Okay, sounds good. Well, that is a wrap to this episode. Thanks again for tuning in. Feel free to subscribe, like, all that kind of stuff, and tune in to the next recap after Oregon.